Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I thought that it would be fun to show you some of my favorite rare houseplants. I've always loved houseplants ever since I can remember. Growing up as a child, my mom always had some houseplants, and then my grandma, she had this beautiful pothos that was always hanging in her living room at her house, and I just always admired how long and lush and beautiful it was. And my mom actually has that plant now, and it's growing beautifully in her space. And I actually have a cutting of that plant growing in my kitchen window, so whenever I'm doing the dishes or anything, I always think about my grandma and how much I miss her. So then in middle school, I kind of dabbled with trying to have some palm trees, and I killed all of them. I actually ended up giving one of my palm trees to my middle school writing teacher, and she had that in her classroom because in her classroom she had a bunch of really nice windows, so it grew really well there. And then I had some plants that I kind of killed along the way. And anyway, so then about 4 years ago, I started really researching more about plants, and I didn't realize about like root rot and some of the common pests that they get and how much to water them and fertilizers and all that good stuff. So now that I haven't been killing plants as much anymore, even though I did kill a 25-year-old Ficus benjamina, and that plant, oh my god, it was such a horror story. I literally got it off of Craigslist, and it just continued to drop leaves. It was 25 years old, you guys, and I killed it. So that was fun. It had root rot because the pot that it was in for 25 years didn't have holes, and I didn't realize that, and yeah, I killed it. So since I've been learning more and more about houseplants, I've decided to start kind of dabbling in the more expensive, kind of more rare houseplants. So I want to show you guys some of them that are my absolute favorites. So the first one that I'd like to show you guys is my pastazanum, and I've had it for a few months now. I actually got off of a Facebook group. So if you love rare houseplants, I highly recommend joining a Facebook group that is in your local area, because I have gotten some of the best deals and some of the best plants from that Facebook group. So, and a lot of times too, there's no price gouging or anything. They do trades, so you can keep your hobby or your love of houseplants to a better budget, because it's really easy to splurge and spend lots of money on things that you love, which I love houseplants. So plant that I love, it's considered, I think, rare, but it's really easy to get. It's not expensive. It's called a Tetrasperma or mini Monstera. And the thing that I absolutely love about this one is that it's a vining plant, and it's really, really, really easy to care for. And it literally grows so tall and so beautiful, and it's really easy to grow, and it doesn't need super high lighting requirements or anything like that. So literally, you can just put this baby in some good soil, some good draining soil, in a nice window, water it, make sure it doesn't, get underwatered, but water it and it will grow for you, and it will, it can grow up walls and all that cool stuff. So I absolutely love it. It's called a Tetrasperma or a mini Monstera, and I just think it's really, really cute. I love Monsteras, and one of the plants, I actually still have it upstairs, that I love, that I've had for a couple years, is a Monstera, because they're just so easy to care for, and I just love how they bring that tropical vibe into your space. And that's one of the things that I love about houseplants, is that you can just create this more natural, less air pollutants space in your home. And I just love how whenever I look at a houseplant, it just kind of reminds me of nature, and I love being outside and hiking and all that good stuff. So I love having that feeling also felt in my home and in my spaces. So I love this thing. So this is a Tetrasperma, and yeah, they're really, really cool. a lot of plant nurseries I've seen have them, and you can actually find these guys more mature, growing up like poles and stuff in plant nurseries. So that's really cool. So this one, I've had it for about 2 years now, or no, like a year and a half. But these are all just a bunch of like little cuttings, and this is called a silver splash. I think it might be a pothos, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know that it's called a silver splash because when you get close to these leaves, it's beautiful. There's like this really silvery sheen to it, and it's just really pretty and like magical when you look at it. So let me see, I can show you guys how this looks. And then I got this really fun Grecian goddess head from Etsy, and so it's a local artist, and they sell these really cool little pots on Etsy, and this baby is actually just in water, and it's been doing great. It's been in there for like a year, or maybe less than a year, and it loves it. There's no root rot, nothing, and it's growing like crazy. So also, if you know anything about transitioning cuttings to like leca or moss or anything like that, please leave me a comment down below and let me know how that process goes, because I'm thinking about transitioning this to like sphagnum moss. This is called a Philodendron Splendid, and it's actually a cross between two different philodendrons. And I've had this in a little IKEA greenhouse that I got for $20, and it loves it. And it's in orchid bark and sphagnum moss, and it's just super easy to care for, and it's already growing another little leaf. So, and I've only had it for like a month. And I got this one also off of that Facebook group that I'm a part of, that local Facebook group. And I actually, this was an auction plant. And that's another thing that is really good about the Facebook groups, is that if you want more of like, I feel like there's more fair pricing than some nurseries. And also, they'll auction plants, so everyone that wants them, you know, you can kind of like bid against people, and then you can kind of cap your price. So I was bidding for this, well, not this exact plant, but I was bidding for one of the Splendids, and I actually lost the auction, which is fine because I got up to I think $80, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to spend any more than $80 on a leaf. So anyway, so it went to somebody else, and I messaged the lady and I asked her if she had any other ones, because I really, really wanted one. And it, you know, so she saw that I had bid, you know, in her auction, and so she sold me this one for a really, really good price. And she's a really, really nice lady, so I look forward to buying more plants from her in the future. But yeah, so I just love this. I love how it has kind of like orange undertones to the leaf, and it looks velvety, and it's just so beautiful. It reminds me of a sunrise or a sunset. So anyway, it brings me joy whenever I look at it. So this plant is a Philodendron Pink Princess. So these ones are a little more on the rare side, but they're starting to get a lot easier to find. And I actually saw a picture of this somewhere, and I didn't know that plants could have pink variegation to them. I'd seen white, I'd seen yellow, I'd seen silver, but I had no idea that they could have pink variegation. And this just, I had to have it. It like drew me to it, if you will. So I actually, on the Facebook plant group, I found someone to trade with. I traded a cutting of one of my plants for this, and I absolutely love it. And it's throwing out some half moon leaves, and actually has a brand new leaf on the way that looks really beautiful and really pink. And I was having an issue with it, with producing some pretty small leaves. And so I kind of just, I think that I had it in too big of a pot, so I potted it down, and I think it's liking this one a little bit more because the leaf that it's currently growing looks pretty big compared to some of these other tiny ones. So also, if you know anything about pink princess philodendrons and growing them, please let me know. But I definitely love philodendrons. Pretty much any philodendron that I've seen, I've absolutely loved it, and I just love how easy they are. But this one has been a little finicky, so I'm still learning about this one. But I still think she's beautiful, and I just love how the variegation looks in some of these leaves. So my absolute favorite houseplant that I have, and it's a little bit more on the rare side, is my Thai Constellation. And this is actually a 30th birthday present from my husband. And I've wanted this plant, you guys, for like so many years. And I could never find one that wasn't completely like so expensive. They're really expensive, and they're really hard to find. And a lot of times when they're in plant nurseries, they just sell so quickly, and you can literally find like a single leaf cutting for like $200. So these things are really hard to find in my area, at least. And so I saw this guy at a plant nursery online, and it was right at the start of the pandemic. I had just had my daughter Elena, and it was my 30th birthday, and it was different. You know, I was hoping that I would be able to have like somewhat of a party because, you know, I was turning 30. But I couldn't because of the pandemic, but thankfully I was able to be with my husband and my daughters, and my husband surprised me with this, and so pretty, and every leaf is so different. That's one thing I love about it. You don't know what's gonna come next with these guys. I just absolutely love the variegation on it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I would love for you to comment down below what your favorite houseplant is, what your favorite rare houseplant is, because I'm still learning about all of the beautiful houseplants that they have out there, and so I'd love to know what your favorite is. But yeah, I hope that you all have an amazing day, and thank you so much for watching.